I want to take steps 10 and 11 together today because there's really not much to say about step 10. It's very common sense. Continue to take personal inventory. Not that we take writing lists as we did in step 4, but just keep an eye on ourselves. Get an idea of where you're going, where your progress is, how you're doing, if you're creating better circumstances or not. Just keep track of yourself. It's really that simple to actually think about it, because out there in the disease, people don't think about themselves or keep track of themselves. Now we do that, and it helps us to find and plot our course further into more productive, progressive living. The part about when we're wrong, to promptly admit it, it may seem like we're, oh, sorry, I'm sorry for doing that, I'm a bad guy, I make mistakes, and that's not it at all. And let's put it in more heathen or pagan terms. Take responsibility for our actions, right or wrong. Let's take it that step further that we do, which is responsibility. If you did something wrong, admit it. If you said something, stand behind it. You know, to be what in the language of the street would be a stand-up guy. Someone who says what he means what he says, and stands behind his actions. And when he's wrong, you know, when he knows it, he's not just going to say, well, too bad. He's going to say sorry, and he's going to rectify them. Not just admit a wrong, but to fix the problem if possible. You see? But in recovery doing this, we don't have the major disasters we used to have. We're dealing with small problems, small situations, because without the disease fueling us, we lose the capacity to create big disasters. We're not toxic anymore. We're not a tornado going through lives. So when we have to take responsibility for something and there's a mistake, that's just it. It's a mistake. We cause less and less trouble. Again, we just don't want to say, okay, I admit I did something wrong. We also want to say, I take responsibility. I'm the one who made this decision. I'm the one who put this in action. Whether they're telling you you're right or wrong, just saying, yeah, it's on me. The buck stops here. And that goes very far to being the kind of people we should be. Responsible, forthright, stand up. This is the way to go. Now, step 11. There we have some fun, because again, we have sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Really? Brush away the religious language, the Judeo-Christian tripe about we are so little picayune people that we can't pick our own course through life. We have to let some distant deity dictate everything and micromanage everything we do. Let's get away with the thought that we are so stupid or so inherently low, like that creature in that movie, that Gollum thing, that we're so bad off that we can't make decisions, we can't lead our own lives, that we must blindly follow the will of some entity out of some old holy book that doesn't even mean anything to most of us. To that I say, a can of farts to that one. Look, this is the idea of where we're developing a sense of spirituality and spiritual contact. Meditation is a good thing. It's a great thing, and I think everyone should do it. It's a great thing to keep it simple. But what we're really seeking is, as we become more and more used to doing right, the right course that we should take. Help us help ourselves make the right decision, to sit and think over it, to meditate over it before acting, to see that it's not a will of God we want. What we want is a life that makes a difference. What we want are to be the people of whom it is said, the world is a better place because we're in it. The will of God? No. But maybe we should keep following up our own program of recovery, working to better ourselves. That's a good plan. Maybe we ought to get to the point where, with a clear head, good recovery, putting yourself in a good space mentally, you make the good, clear decisions. Because, as I've said when I've spoken on morality in the past, we all know right from wrong. And in recovery, as we get more recovery, we know what we should be doing and we know what's not good for us. So let's replace the will of God with, let's do what's good for us that we know is good for us and head in that direction. You're not a doormat anymore. You come into recovery to relieve you of the throes of the disease that's been controlling you. And now, as you're getting more recovery, you're getting healthier, and as time goes on, you're more and more capable person of doing the right thing, making the right choices. So make them. We don't stay clean to be a doormat for the rest of our lives, and this has to be addressed. We are not going to be playing penance for the rest of our lives. The people who wrote the 12 steps believed in that kind of religion. Believed in a religion where the people were useless worms and only God knew what was going on. But be you heathen, pagan, metaphysician, agnostic, whatever, our belief is different. We don't believe we're worms. We believe we were made to come into this world, to live, to make a difference, to be people who stand tall. So instead of groveling and cowering away from some distant deity, we assume our own divinity and become, in our own lives, the mover and shaker, the one who makes the right decisions. We don't come here to be forever reminded how bad we were. We come here to be the capable people who can take responsibility and move out into the world. So you don't go sitting there, oh, God, show me the way. And, come on. By this point in recovery, if you think things through, there's the slogan, think. Or as a very wise man said to me, think it through. You know the way you're supposed to be going. You know right from wrong. And it's up to you to do the right thing, because the right thing is going to get you to the right place. It really is that simple. Now, I want to cover here one little thing that gets some people, heathens, pagans, some metaphysicians, some people in the esoteric religions in a bind in recovery, and that's divination. Years ago, I was in a shop. I forget what we were picking up, something silly, and there was a woman there, and she was one of the people who did card readings for the shop. We had met her a couple times before. She was nice enough, gal. And she was trying to figure out a decision she could make, and she kept reading her own cards. And when the cards didn't read exactly what she'd want, she'd read them again and rephrase the question. And this went on for about, the whole time we were in the shop. We must have been in there 20 minutes because we ran into someone else we knew. Divination, pulling runes, reading tarot. These are tools that we use, and they do have a purpose. But their purpose is not to tell us what to do. Their purpose is to reveal facts we may not be aware of so we can make the decision. So in early recovery, don't be sitting there pulling runes time after time after time, spending 20 minutes, one casting after another. You know how they say it, make sure to use it, but don't use it over much. Whether you use runes, tarot, any kind of divining method. That's not the intent of the step anyway. The intent of the step is to seek that which is best for yourself, the best direction for yourself, and make actions. You're free now. It's up to you. Your life is in your hands. You've been given the tools. So step 11 is really the step of maturity, where you have recovery. Go and do what you must do. Trick is, do it. This is Uncle Thor. I wish you good luck in your recovery. Have a good one. I'm signing out.